CNN just visited a site in Belarus where the country's president says Wagner fighters could take up residence should they take up Belarus's offer to move to the country. Now, this comes after yesterday's surprise announcement that Wagner's military leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin, is apparently not in Belarus, as previously believed. The president of Belarus, Lukashenko, revealed Prigozhin was in Russia on Thursday. This revelation directly contradicts the terms of that ceasefire brokered to end Wagner's rebellion in Russia. Our Matthew Chance has the reporting.
All right, well, you join me here in this military base in Belarus, about an hour's drive outside of the capital, Minsk. You can see it's a vast tent city with all these enormous canvases, which we're told can house about 5,000 people that have been erected in the past few weeks. There were satellite photographs of this place before and after, and we all believed this is the location where Wagner forces, the mercenaries from Russia, would be located if they came to Belarus. That was part of a deal, remember, with the Belarusian leader, Alexander Lukashenko, inviting Wagner and its leader to come into exile in Belarus as a way of diffusing their military uprising in Russia last month. Well, I mean, at the moment, though, these tents are completely empty. I mean, have a look inside one of these here. Completely empty. There's nobody in there. It's too dark for us to show you inside, but I can tell you it's just wooden platforms, nobody in there at the moment, but ultimately it can house as many as 5,000 people. The problem is of course the events of yesterday here with the revelations from Alexander Lukashenko, the Belarusian leader, that actually is that plan is no longer sort of in operation. It's on hold at the moment, and at the moment Yevgeny Prigozhin, the Wagner leader, is not here in Belarus. He's said to be in Russia, and not a single Wagner soldier has so far come here. And so we don't know whether there is going to be a transfer of Wagner to Belarus or not. At the moment, all we can tell you is that it hasn't happened yet. Back to you.
Matthew, thank you. And this just in, Ukraine says it has advanced more than a kilometer around Bakhmut in just the past 24 hours as it continues to apply pressure on Russian forces in the area. Now, this comes as the U.S. is expected to take a controversial step in assisting Ukraine by sending cluster munitions. It's as part of a new military aid package. NATO's chief Jens Stoltenberg condemned Russia's use of cluster bombs in Ukraine last year. Watch.
We have seen the use of cluster bombs. We have seen reports of the use of other types of weapons which will be in violation of international law.
Well, this is video of an alleged Russian cluster bomb attack in Kharkiv. It essentially a projectile that rains down other smaller bomblets. More than 100 nations have banned its use because of how devastating it can be to civilians. Joining us now is retired U.S. Army Major Mike Lyons. Major, good to see you again. First, let's start with, what do you think? You think this is a good idea and this is the right time to give these cluster munitions to Ukraine?
Yeah, it is a good idea because they're not game-changing, but they're difference-making. They'll make the artillery much more effective on the ground. Right now, for military targets, you have Russian troops that are dug in, vehicles that are dug in, and if you just look at a quick video, the same thing. Artillery, Napoleon called the artillery king of battle for a reason, and what it'll do is it'll improve the effects on military targets, okay? What Russia does is fire them on civilians. That's different. These are going to be for military targets, for Russian troops that are dug in, and what they'll end up doing is also save Ukrainian crew lives, right? Every artillery round has a reverse address, has a return address. Russian counter battery is very good. This will allow our Ukrainian artillery crews to move, shoot, communicate, and get out there quickly.
So the administration has said that changing battlefield conditions over the last couple of weeks are why they've made this decision. Do you think that is an acknowledgement of, let's say, slow progress of the counteroffensive? Yes,
I think the administration has been results-oriented all along. And we don't want to send too much equipment that gets out in front that potentially, if Ukraine starts losing that equipment, is then left on the battlefield. The counteroffensive is going well if this is the objective, is to find Russian forces where they are, probe initial defenses, shoot artillery, save Ukrainian lives, and then still find that weak place as to where it should be. It's not a classic counteroffensive. It's not a blitzkrieg. There's no breakout that's taking place. So we have to make sure also that Ukrainian forces don't accumulate. Well, what that means is that the Ukrainian forces get stopped, and they're not effective. They attrit. They run out of ammunition. So this is going to be a plus-up for ammunition and allow them to keep the counteroffensive going.
So what is your concern about the potential bomblets that are duds or that don't explode immediately?
Well, so the Ukrainian government recognizes this. I mean, they're fighting for their survival right now, and they're going to fire them on their own ground. So they're going to know where those rounds have been landed and when they've used them, and they're willing to do that. They're willing to do it against an enemy that's invaded their land. So, and it'll be against military targets. You won't see them against civilian targets like we saw before. So it's the risk that the Ukraine government and the military is willing to take.
This new reporting that the Ukrainians say that they have advanced a kilometer around Bakhmut. We've talked about Bakhmut. There's not much there left.
Yeah.
It's a symbolic victory. What's a kilometer worth?
Right. I don't want to diminish what they've done here. In some ways, they have to be attacking the Russian troops that are dug in and around Bakhmut. But this is that symbolic victory that Russia has. And if they can use this to also find out, there was reports of about 120,000 more troops up in the northern area. If they could use this fight right now to determine whether that's true or not, then they can determine whether they can reposition their forces, or they could decide that this is where they have to put their reserves in.
All right. Major Lyons, thank you.
Thanks.